It's a beautiful night in Toronto. It's a Friday night opener of a three-game series. The Blue Jays take on the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay coming off an 8-3 homestand. They are 33-18 on the road. That's the best road record in baseball. Hello, everybody. I'm Buck Martinez along with Pat Tabler. And Pat, both of these ball clubs have gotten off to a great start in the second half. They have played a different style of baseball, but one thing that's common with both clubs, they both pitch very well.
It always starts on the mound, doesn't it? Whenever you go on winning streaks, it starts with the pitching, and both of these teams have had great pitching to start the second half. The Tampa Bay Rays bullpen, very deep. They have the best save percentage in the American League. They have the best earned run average. You can see their batting average at just 236. They came off that homestand where they won 8 out of 11 games, but they only hit 220, but their pitching's been great. The Blue Jays pitching has been great, but they're still mashing the ball at an average of 291 with 31 home runs.
Very interesting pitching matchup here tonight. Matt Garza will go to the mound. He's been hit hard this year by the Jays. He'll be opposed by Brett Cecil, who was very good in the month of July, but Matt Garza is one of those pitchers that you go to the ballpark to watch because he could do something special just about every start.
We saw him a couple of years ago against Roy Halladay throw a shutout, but 2 starts ago, he topped all of that. A no-hitter against the Detroit Tigers, and the thing that made him so special in that game, he was able to put his fastball wherever he needed to, mixed in the good curveball late in the game, and when you're throwing strikes, you're going to have a good defense. A good play by Zobrist in right field. He had a good fastball. Plenty left in the 9th inning.
In the 9th inning, then Zobrist catches the final out. Matt Garza becomes the 5th pitcher this year to throw a no-hitter. That's the first time we've had 5 no-hitters in the season since 1991. The Blue Jays beat the Yankees 2-3 in New York. They have played well in this ballpark recently here at Rogers Center. And for more on that, let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Buck, the Blue Jays pitchers really love pitching off this Rogers Center mound, but we touched on it a little bit last homestand. This is a great park to hit in. The background is fantastic, and home runs are flying out of the Rogers Center at record pace. When you look at the run differential, a plus 68 for the Blue Jays. Since the end of April, they've been extremely good here at home. But then again, maybe it's just good old-fashioned home cooking.
They're going to have to use that home field advantage against the very tough Matt Garza for his career. He's 6-5 against the Blue Jays, but this year they pounded on him. He's 0-2 with a 6.35 ERA.
The Jays on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Tampa Bay finished up a homestand. 8-3. It could have been much better. Jason Bartlett sparked a comeback. He had a grand slam in the 8th inning as Tampa Bay scored 6 runs to tie the Twins. But it was a very eventful 9th inning.
Couple of runners on, 2 batters out. Jason Kubel looks like this was going to be the 3rd out, and the Rays had a chance to win, but it hits the A ring, which is the highest ring at the Tropicana Field. That's the small one up there. A very devastating loss. It falls harmlessly. That in the game rules say it's a base hit. They ended up losing that game. A very hard loss for Joe Madden and the Tampa Bay Rays. Told me today he's going to have to gather his troops back together and try to win on the road.
They have played very well on the road, 33-18 at the start of this game. Let's take a look at Joe Madden's lineup. B.J. Upton, since they put him up in that leadoff spot, he's really starting to swing the bat well. He's hit well against the Blue Jays all season long. 375 average with 3 RBI and 3 doubles. This lineup is without Carlos Pena, their big home run hitter. He was placed on a disabled list this afternoon with plantar fasciitis. They want him to get healthy before they really head in toward the stretch drive, and they've disabled him and called up a pitcher in his place.
That is the lineup that Brett Cecil will face tonight, who is coming off a really good start versus Cleveland last Saturday when he threw a career-high 114 pitches in 6 innings and giving up just 1 run. He picked up a no decision in that game. That has happened to him now for 3 straight starts. What a month of July it was for Cecil. 5 starts in that month with a very good ERA, just over 2. The only problem, though, his record was just 1-0 the whole month of July. He has won both of his starts versus Tampa Bay so far this season. Defensively for the Blue Jays, this is how they will line up. Fred Lewis, Vernon Wells, Jose Bautista, the American League's leader in the outfield, assists in right field. Hill and Escobar up the middle, Overbay and Encarnacion on the corners. And tonight's battery, Jose Molina, will get the starting with John Buck on the disabled list and some reinforcements called up for the Blue Jays.
J.P. Arancibia is here tonight. He's on the active roster. He was called up from AAA, but tonight Jose Molina will get the start. There's J.P. right in the middle of your screen with Travis Snyder and Ricky Romero. First pitch of the ball game is a strike from Brett Cecil. There are the numbers against the Jays this year. 375 with 3 RBI. And Upton is in a hole 0-2.
Whole key for B.J. Upton is get that front foot down. You can see he's got that leg kick, picks up that back heel. When he is going well, he's getting it down quickly.
A cut fastball missed down and in. Two balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff batter here in the first. Tampa Bay is a team hitting just .252. But they have really hit well with runners in scoring position and come up with clutch hits all season long.
You combine that with the fact that they've got great starting pitching, a very solid bullpen, and they can manufacture runs.
Got him. High fastball does the trick. B.J. Upton strikes out, first of the night for Cecil.
Good fastball tonight from Brett Cecil. You can tell it in that first batter. The scouting report, he needs to stay on top. With that fastball, he'll create good downward play. He's got that split grip change. It's a much improved changeup. And the slider has become his out pitch. He's also got that little bit of a cutter, but he'll run that right in on the hands of those right-handed batters.
Sean Rodriguez, the second baseman, takes a strike. Rodriguez has done a great job with this ball club, and he's been a tough out for the Blue Jays, hitting .400 on the button. Little flare down the right field line. That's a fair ball. Up against the wall and grabbed by a fan. It'll be a ground rule double for Sean Rodriguez.
Not a very smart play by the home fans here at Rogers Center. You have to remember who was in right field. Rodriguez did not come out of the box running. And it looked like there was going to be a chance for Bautista to throw him out. Ball caught on one hop by the fan, and Bautista picked his glove off and in disgust wanted to have a shot at Rodriguez at second.
Yeah, he had a legitimate shot if he can play that ball off the wall. But now it's the ever dangerous Evan Longoria with a base runner in scoring position. Fastball up and in for a ball. Big numbers for all of these hitters against the Blue Jays. Longoria hitting .429. He's driven home 4.
He is in a little bit of a slump right now, but he has had great numbers against Brett Cecil.
Two balls and no strikes, 1 out here in the first. 3-0. Cecil has a base open. Switch hitter Willie Ibar on deck. Green light, popped into right center. Bautista over quickly on the run, makes the catch. Rodriguez goes back and tags second base, and they get it in. But Bautista made a fine running catch in the gap in right for the second out of the inning.
Nice heads-up base running right there by Rodriguez. The runner at second. Anytime you are the runner at second base and there's a ball into the gap, you can't take off and you can't go back and tag up. Bautista takes a good angle to that ball, catches it. And with his momentum taking him away from third base, Rodriguez can read it, sit there, wait. The closer the batter gets, or the outfielder gets to the ball, the closer you get to the bag. Good play.
Left field line, that's going to go all the way to the wall. Rodriguez comes in to score. Ibar's around first, headed for second. And there'll be no play. So Willie Ibar jumping on the first pitch comes up with a 2-out RBI double. Then the Rays have jumped out on top 1-0.
Well, you said it. They have been hitting with runners in scoring position this year, and Ibar doesn't waste any time. Looked like a cutter that got too much of the plate. Didn't get into the right-handed hitting Ibar, and he slashes it down the left field line for the game's first run.
31st RBI of the season for Willie Ibar. 2 outs now for Ben Zobrist. Zobrist takes the first pitch strike. Zobrist has struggled. His average 171 over his last 10 games. He's been dealing with a bad lower back. He missed several games lately, but obviously that batting average reflects the fact that it was bothering him for a while. Off speed pitch. Little dribbler. That's trouble. Aaron Hill won't have a play. That changeup cued right off the end of the bat. Cecil couldn't get over and cut it off. By the time Hill grabbed it with a bare hand, he didn't have a play.
That's one of the things Cecil does. Watch him fall off the mound over towards the third base side, and by that time, too late. No chance that he was going to get it. And Zobrist runs really well. He makes it easily without a throw from the second baseman. Aaron Hill wisely picks it up and just checks the runner at third.
So now it's first and third with 2 outs. Jason Bartlett. This is exactly why Joe Madden has Bartlett down in the 6th spot in the batting order for these opportunities. Chases the first pitch changeup. Bartlett's hit in the top of the order, hit leadoff a lot for them, but the way they've been scuffling to score runs, he's better suited to hit down in the order.
3 home runs and 41 driven in with a .239 average. Came up with that grand slam that you talked about at the beginning of this ball game. This is a very interesting team offensively that has been put together by the Tampa Bay Rays, especially with their big home run hitter out of the middle of that lineup in Carlos Pena.
No balls and a strike. Inside, 1-1. It's interesting because they can beat you many different ways without hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
With the team speed, they can manufacture runs. They have switch hitters in their lineup. And you never know what Joe Madden is going to do. He can double steal. He can squeeze. He does so many things.
There goes Zobrist to Hopper to third base, and Carnacion makes a good throw, and the Rays are retired. But they come up with a run on 3 hits against Brett Cecil. Big double by Willie Ibar does the trick. deficit, Jose Bautista, for his career 3 for 8 with 3 doubles against Matt Garza. In 18 games since the All-Star break, Bautista's hitting .368. That's why his average has gotten all the way up to .263 as we speak. Wells, Linden, Hill, middle of the order, Overbay, Encarnacion, and the catcher tonight, Jose Molina.
Matt Garza was start number 22 on the season. He's also made a relief appearance for the Rays this year. He picked up a no decision in his last game, giving up 4 runs, 5 hits, all of them extra base hits in 7 innings. That was a 5-4 loss to the Yankees last Saturday. That was the first outing after that no-hitter that we talked about. First no-hitter in their season. Hasn't had much success against the Blue Jays this year, but in his career he certainly has, and especially here at Rogers Center.
He's pitched very well here, 3-3 with a very good ERA under 2. So Fred Lewis will look to start things off against Matt Garza. There's the first pitch, strike. 28 doubles this season for Lewis. Little pop-up, foul territory, left side, but foul and out of play. Fred Lewis has really had some ups and downs, but over the course of the season, he's really been a bonus to this lineup. Brings a dimension of speed, and since Lewis arrived, they've added more speed and more athleticism.
Give Cito Gaston a couple of different options at the top of the lineup. The one thing I like is his ability to juice a ball early in a ball game.
0-2.
It's not your typical leadoff hitter where they punch and Judy and slap the ball around and just run. This guy here, if you make a mistake, he can turn on the ball and get some extra base hits.
Another pop-up left side, Longoria over, but it's back into the seats. Well, you mentioned Fred Lewis as a leadoff hitter, and you can see where he ranks in leadoff hitters. Extra base hits, he's better than anybody.
How about 40 of them this season? These are all leadoff hitters, all in the American League. Ichiro with 28, Scudo has 31. Austin Jackson, we're tired of seeing him. We saw enough of him a couple of weeks ago in Detroit, but it's Fred Lewis with the most.
Another 1-2 pitch, curveball bounced into there. Fred Lewis ranks second in leadoff home runs with 7. He's also led the American League leadoff hitters with a .459 slugging percentage. He gives you a lot of scoring opportunities early in a ball game. Popped up, back behind the screen and out of play.
Looks like they've made a conscious effort that they're going to try and crowd Fred Lewis with fastballs, especially with 2 strikes.
Well, one thing you have to do now with 2 strikes is just try to shorten up and be quick and protect the zone. So you can't really open up. Then you become vulnerable to that fastball and off-speed pitch to the outside.
And Garza has that, too. He can turn over his fastball. There's no hitter. He was dotting the corners against the Tigers a couple of starts ago.
Another 2-2 pitch from Garza. Hit on the ground. Rodriguez has it from shallow right field. Throws out Fred Lewis. 1 out.
Defensively for the Rays, and they have been playing some great defense. They have climbed all the way to 4th in the American League in fielding percentage. Kapler will play left field with no Carl Crawford. Upton and Joyce in the outfield. Bartlett and Rodriguez have been sensational up the middle. We all know about Evan Longoria, how good he is. Shopping gets the start tonight. Ben Zobrist will play first base in the absence of Carlos Pena. And Zobrist has played all over the diamond for Joe Madden. Right field, second base. He started 7 games in center field. This is just his 4th start over at first base for the Rays.
Yunel Escobar looks at a fastball on the outside corner. Escobar at .292 start play. 3 home runs and 28 RBI. He had 21 hits in his 16 games. Chases a fastball away. Garza's got good velocity, and he'll make you start that bat early.
What's interesting about Garza is he can throw it up at 97 or 98 miles an hour if need be. He's the type of guy a lot like Brandon Morrow, where he's better when he takes a little miles per hour off and controls his fastball. When he does that, I think it sets up all his other pitches.
Good slider down and away. A 3-pitch strikeout for Garza.
Well, since we were talking about Matt Garza, let's take a little closer look at the scouting report for the big right-hander. 6'4", 215 pounds. He's got power stuff. Upper 90s fastball with movement, but he's okay throwing fastballs. And he's got the 2 breaking pitches, the curveball and the slider. And this changeup now will fade to the left-handers, and they'll spot it against those lefties. So 4 very good pitches for Matt Garza.
Jose Bautista. Fastball away. Mentioned Bautista against Garza. 3 for 8. He's been on fire with the long ball. 7 home runs, 18 RBI over his last 10 games.
He has been absolutely raking here at home also. Doesn't matter what type of pitcher it is, a jump baller, a left-hander, a flamethrower, it doesn't matter. 17 RBIs over his last 11 games here at Rogers Center.
Counts in Bautista's favor. 2 balls and no strikes. Got a fastball hit it high and deep, but not deep enough. B.J. Upton has it. Ball toward the end of the bat. He popped it up to center. A 1-2-3 first inning for Matt Garza. Tampa Bay leads it 1-0.
Against Jesse Litch, but against Brad Mills. Litch was put on the DL today. We'll miss the rest of the season. We'll have more on him later in the game. And then Sunday's affair will feature Jeff Neiman and Brandon Morrow to round out the set. JP Arancibia expected to get the call behind the plate to catch Brad Mills, who is very familiar with while pitching in AAA and getting a few pointers from the wily old vet John Buck.
Brett Cecil jumps ahead of Matt Joyce with an off-speed pitch. Lots of movement around the Blue Jays. Jesse Litch on the DL, and Mills will make his second start. He was great first time up. Came up, had an outstanding start. John Buck on the disabled list with that lacerated thumb. It took a foul tip in New York off the bat of Alex Rodriguez. Ball on a strike to Matt Joyce, leading things off here in the second. A cut fastball in a perfect spot.
You can see why Brett Cecil is so tough on the left-handed batters. He'll throw that cutter, that slider down and away to him. Not afraid to throw the changeup into him also, but he can get it off that hitting plane against the lefties.
Jammed him with that fastball. Cecil's numbers against lefties, 157 they're hitting against him. He has dominated them, and it's not always the case. A lot of left-handers that have a lot of success don't handle left-handed hitters.
Well, what's impressive about Cecil is, the ability to handle the lefties, but keep him in the ballpark. He's only given up 1 home run to a left-hander all season long, 2 extra base hits to the lefties.
And when you think about it, the only left-handers that stay in the lineup against him are the real good hitters. Very defensive swing and popped out of play. So you can really put a star on that 157 average because he's facing some of the best left-handed hitters in the game. Joyce is in there. He's got a lot of power.
And he's hot, too. He's got 20 hits this year, 14 of them for extra bases.
Won't hit that one. Down and away. Another breaking ball in a perfect spot. Joyce strikes out. Second strikeout for Cecil.
We asked Bruce Walton today, why is he so tough on the lefties? Because of this pitch right here. He can cut that ball away from the lefties, and he likes to keep it down and away from them. Get him off that hitting plane. Very defensive swing again from Joyce for the first strikeout.
Gabe Kapler, the left fielder, takes the ball down. Popped out of play. Kapler's a very interesting player in that he came up with the Tigers, was formerly the minor league player of the year in Double-A. He's always been a guy that you say, well, he's really going to break out. And basically, he's been an excellent extra player, a guy that can play all the outfield positions. He retired, became a manager, went to Japan. He's done about everything in the game. And then he decided, you know what, I love to play, and came back and made his way onto this Tampa Bay ball club.
Traded for Juan Gonzalez early in his career. Juan Gonzalez, the big slugger for the Texas Rangers, went to Detroit. One of the players that went to the Rangers was Gabe Kapler. You mentioned he managed in the minor leagues. He was all set to manage a couple of years ago, I believe, in the Brewers organization, when he got the call from the Rays and continued his big league career.
2-2. Kapler just pulls it foul. He had a ruptured Achilles tendon playing.
Did it right here at Rogers Center.
And he's been through a lot, but he loves to play so much. He's such a great teammate. He kind of pushes everybody to do it the right way. It's been quite a fight here against Brett Cecil. Another 2-2 pitch from Cecil. Another foul from Kapler. Brett Cecil 3-1 against Tampa Bay in 5 appearances. This is his 5th start. He actually made 1 appearance in relief against Tampa Bay. Now takes too much time for Kapler.
What an at-bat Kapler's putting together. Cecil's trying a little bit of everything. He's trying change-ups. He's cutting the ball in on his hands. Fastball, he's just emergency hacking that to stay alive.
Tough pitch to lay off a backdoor cutter. Full count now.
Tries to backdoor him with that cutter, and it's just off the plate.
Bouncing ball wide of third. Encarnacion rights himself. High throw, but in time to get Kapler.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
Kelly Shopik, the catcher, will stand in with 2 outs. Shopik and John Jaso have been splitting the work behind the plate. Ow. That foul tip went right back into Molina. Well, catchers have taken a beating over the last week or so. John Buck, of course, took that foul tip off his right thumb. He got 3 stitches in the end of that thumb. He actually hit it underneath the fingernail. It lacerated the thumb, and they had to stitch it back together. And this is how it happened in New York.
What are catchers taught? To put that hand behind them? That time he left that meat hand stick out there, and you know the ball is going to find it.
Good changeup. Shopik way out in front.
A couple of other catchers went down last week also.
Carlos Santana of the Indians had a very nasty collision at home plate, had knee surgery. And Russell Martin of the Dodgers, a fine young catcher from Montreal, has a hip problem, much like Jesse Litch. He'll have surgery to repair that. Shopik lays off. A lot of tough injuries for key players, and Kevin Youkilis, of course, now out for the season with a torn muscle in his thumb.
You mentioned catchers. Joe Mauer missed a couple of games last week with some injury problems.
Shopik wouldn't go fishing on that changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the second. Tampa Bay scored the first run of the ball game on an RBI double by Willie Ibar. That drove home Sean Rodriguez. Strike 3 call. Good breaking ball, and Kelly Shopik couldn't pull the trigger. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 on the night for Brett Cecil.
Game, you can win Sharp Aqua's products, including a new HD Quadron TV and Blu-ray player. Enter online at hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. Sharp Aquas with Quadron technology. You have to see it to see it.
Brendan Wells will start things off here in the second. Garza had a 1-2-3 first inning. Wells averaged up over 300 for his last 9 games. Matt Garza, we mentioned, a 3-3 career record here at Rogers Center. For his career, he's just 6-5 against the Jays.
Look at his earned run average versus Toronto is just over 2. He leads all active pitchers in career ERA versus Toronto.
Yeah, he's a tough customer, no doubt about it. He's got velocity. He's got all 4 pitches. And He's got a lot of late movement on his fastball.
We did the game a couple of years ago when he was matched up against Roy Halladay. Now, we weren't here very long because those two get the ball, they throw strikes, and he actually outdueled the Doc that day. And one of the things that he was doing is he was throwing fastballs down and away. He had a good curveball that day. Working very quickly, just like he is here tonight. Throwing quality strike.
I love when pitchers work quickly. It just proves to themselves and to the defense behind him he's got confidence, and it puts a lot of pressure on the hitters. You have to stand in the box and get your timing very quickly.
No team wants a pitcher to get into a rhythm and get into that groove where getting the ball and working quickly. You want to try to upset that timing.
Good breaking ball down and away. No contest right there. That was in a perfect spot. A late breaking sharp slider. Second strikeout for Garza.
Watch the late movement. Looks like a fastball and then just disappears underneath the bat of Vernon Wells. Second strikeout of the night for Matt Garza.
Well, you mentioned Garza, what a great ERA he has against the Blue Jays. He has a sparkling ERA here at Rogers Center. Only Mariano Rivera has a lower ERA than Matt Garza. Pitching a minimum of 40 innings. Garza has a 1.60 ERA here at Rogers Center.
Seventh start against his career here at Rogers Center. How does he lose 3 of those games with an ERA of 1.6?
Tampa Bay didn't score any runs. 0 runs in those 3 losses. Adam Lynn cuts on a ball and hits it up the middle. Base hit to center. First base runner of the night for the Jays.
Adam Lynn was out here early today working with Cito Gaston and Dwayne Murphy trying to get that swing perfected, the one that we saw last year. That one looked pretty good there. Very quick on a high fastball.
So with 1 out, Aaron Hill will try to move Lynn along. Long drive to left field, but that's going to hook foul. He got up the end of the bat, got out in front of it. Looked like Garza might have taken something off of it. Here's another guy that's on a hot streak of late with 3 home runs in his last 9 games.
Home runs come in bunches for a lot of hitters. Aaron Hill's in one of those grooves right now with the home run swing.
The guys are trying to get these Blue Jays to chase that slider down and away. A ball on the strike. Lind at first. Fastball off the plate inside. Aaron Hill's done a better job of late getting good pitches to hit. And that's why the average has gone up early on and for much of the season. Just a little too anxious at the plate.
We'll speak in terms of a young hitter, and Aaron Hill is still a young hitter.
Another drive deep to left field, but this one is foul into the second deck.
When it comes in terms of major league experience, Aaron Hill really is still a young hitter. Still, pitchers are making adjustments and vice versa. But for Aaron Hill, young hitters, when they find themselves not swinging the bat and producing, they seem to go out there and they want to hit everything. And that's what you and I have noticed with Aaron Hill so far this season, that he wants to try and hit every pitch. You can't do it. You got to start eliminating some of those pitches.
There's another good slider just off the plate. Mark Carlson down at first agrees it wasn't a swing. It's a full count. One out. Tampa Bay up by a run. High fly ball right field. Matt Joyce under it makes the catch, and Hill is retired.
Well, that is one thing that you will see from Matt Garza today. A lot of fly ball outs. He has the ability to throw and pitch at the upper part of the strike zone. He's always been a fly ball type of pitcher. He has given up 20 home runs this year. And his fly ball to ground ball ratio is 2-to-1, the highest of his career. But that's okay with a record of 11-5. You can be a fly ball pitcher as long as you keep it in the yard.
Lyle Overbay chases that high fastball at 94. Been a hot stretch for a long time for Overbay, hitting just under 300 over his last 35 games. Fouls it back, and he had such a terrible start. You can hit 300 for a long period of time and still not quite make it to 250. He starts this game at 249. But he's been a very consistent hitter over the last 6-7 weeks.
Producing now 41 RBIs to go along with his 12 home runs, and on-base percentage of over 330.
Trying to get him to chase that high fastball. Garza likes to pitch up in the zone. And he feels that he can overpower just about anybody. And if he doesn't necessarily get it high enough, that's the one that ends up out of the ballpark. That belt-high fastball from time to time. And the fastball upstairs. You see Garza slapped his leg in frustration. Pitch wasn't close enough to entice Overbay to swing.
I think he's telling himself to stay back on that back leg just a little bit longer, that he might be leaking out with his lower half a little bit too quick.
2-2 pitch. Just downstairs with that two-seam fastball. So with 2 outs, the runner at first base, Adam Lynn, will be off on the pitch. See Ben Zobrist playing behind the base runner at first. There goes Lynn. Hit into left field. Gabe Kapler will come in a couple of steps, and Overbay is retired. Garza strands a base runner. Matt Garza and the Rays lead the Blue Jays 1-0 after 2 innings. Some of their friends, courtesy of TD Canada Trust. Welcome to Rogers Center. Beautiful night here on a Friday night and a great matchup. A couple of American League East rivals, Tampa Bay Rays and the Blue Jays. Tampa Bay 27-14 against the American League East clubs.
They certainly have had their way with the Blue Jays of late also. They have won 9 straight series versus the Blue Jays. One of the longest streaks by any American League team ever.
B.J. Upton in a hole 0-1. Go too far? Yes, said Mark Carlson. Couldn't check his swing on that off-speed offering. 0-2. The Rays have a 20-7 record against the Blue Jays going back to 2009. They have really had the upper hand. Breaking ball just off the plate inside.
Nine straight series they have won from Toronto.
Good cutter down in. Upton strikes out. Fourth strikeout of the night. All right, take a look at these two ball clubs. The Rays have the upper hand, and they have really pitched well against the Blue Jays in these 9 games.
Yeah, but the numbers go to the Rays, but it's a little bit more even than you think in terms of won-loss records. The Blue Jays have had leads in a lot of these games this year, where the Rays have come back and snatched a victory away from them. A lot of it has to do with that runners in scoring position.
John Rodriguez chases the changeup from Brett Cecil. One thing we have found out about this particular ball club, the Rays, they do not give up.
No.
They scored 6 runs yesterday afternoon in the 8th inning to tie the Twins 6-6. Big bounce to Encarnacion at third. Right on the money to Overbay.
You know, that's what's impressive about Tampa Bay is they make you earn all 27 outs. They don't lay down. They get down by, well, I don't care what they get down by. Joe Madden, Dave Martinez, that group will make you earn every one of those outs.
Well, they got a taste of the World Series a couple of years ago, and that makes you hungry. You want to go back.
I think to come back and win games, you have to have a good bullpen. You have to be able to stop the other team from scoring late in the game. You have to have a deep and a very good bullpen, and that's something that the Rays have.
Rafael Soriano, the closer acquired in the offseason, has changed the profile of that bullpen dramatically. Evan Longoria fouls it off at the plate.
They have the best earned run average in the American League in terms of relief, earned run average. They have the best save percentage. They're missing one of their better relievers this year. J.P. Howell has been out all season long with an injury.
A ball on the strike to Evan Longoria. Missed down and away. J.P. Howell has missed the whole season. Grant Balfour just this past week went on the disabled list, and he was their 7th inning guy. Really pitching well. And what makes that injury even more significant and hurt much more is that it happened horsing around in the clubhouse.
Right. No baseball related injury.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but he strained an intercostal muscle. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. Brett Cecil with a 2-2 count to Evan Longoria. Long drive left field, just hooks foul. That was close.
I want to know how he was able to hit that ball. It looked like a good cut fastball down and in. And watch how Longoria is able to throw his hands at the ball and almost keep it fair.
Yeah, he almost, I mean, that ball was going to hit him.
Yeah.
But he still hit it well enough to have it still in question when it got down to the foul line. Another 2-2 pitch from Brett Cecil. Got it. Backdoor cutter does the trick. 2 more strikeouts in the 3rd inning. 5 for the night. Longoria, after seeing one breaking ball inside, can't pull the trigger on the next one.
Brought to you by your local independently owned home hardware or home hardware building center. Homeowners helping homeowners.
Beautiful night in Toronto. Friday night series opening game against Tampa Bay. Edwin Encarnacion, the number 8 hitter, will start things off against Matt Garza. Blue Jays, just one base runner. Adam Linden had a single to center. Fastball for a strike. Encarnacion's done a great job of being more consistent. His numbers over the last 24 games are impressive. 3.11 average. There's a curveball. First time we've seen that tonight. He drops it on the outside corner.
He's got one of those also. First time through, he'll go fastball, slider, change, and then drop that curve on you. You mentioned about Encarnacion starting to produce the power numbers, a couple of home runs and 9 RBIs.
There's a bullet into left field. That'll get by. Gabe Kappa go all the way to the wall. Encarnacion around first, headed for second. That was a shot hit so hard, Kappa couldn't get over to cut it off.
Well, he's locked in, Encarnacion. They tried a fastball, tried to climb the stairs. Watch the catcher. He wants that ball up, but it catches too much of the plate. And when you can get on top of that and you're as strong as Edwin Encarnacion, that ball is going to hit the turf, and it's going to just ping pong right by him. Ricochet right off that turf and all the way to the wall for extra bases.
Big leadoff double here. Jose Molina now, the number 9 hitter. Trying to go to the right side, pops it back out of play. Molina's done a nice job swinging the bat. Of course, his playing time is sporadic as he will spell John Buck about once every 5 games. He's been catching Brandon Morrow almost exclusively. So I got a visit from Brian Butterfield. That might have been, hey, Jose, don't worry about hitting the ball to the right side. Just try to drive him in here.
Still early in the game, and it's only 1-0. He does have 4 home runs and just over 100 at bats. So if they try and pitch him inside fastballs, which you try to do with a runner at second base and nobody out, turn on one.
There's a good fastball right at the knees. Well, you mentioned Garza's prone to giving up the home run. You get a fastball to hit just about every at bat. And he has the ability to make some terrific pitches with all 4 pitches. Guess you could call it 5 when you factor in that sinking fastball as well.
Which is pretty nasty to both right-handers and left-handers. His last start, he threw first pitch strikes to 22 out of 27 batters. Shows you the value of getting ahead early.
A ball and 2 strikes. Fastball line to second. Thrown away. Encarnacion's got a chance to score. Up against the wall. Here it comes around third. He will score, and we're tied at 1-all.
This is a Rays team that since June 22nd has made only 7 errors since that time. Well, this will be the first one that's going to cost him a run. Sean Rodriguez gets a little bit too greedy and tries to double off Edwin Encarnacion at second base, and the throw goes out into no man's land, and Encarnacion could really score standing by the time Kapler runs that ball down in left field.
Good job by Encarnacion reacting to the line drive. Fred Lewis fouls off the first pitch, so we're tied here at 1. An uncharacteristic unearned run, just the 3rd error of the season committed by Sean Rodriguez. Encarnacion with the double, scores on the 2-base error. Lewis shows bunt, takes the curveball. This is a big series for the Blue Jays. They have not played particularly well against Tampa Bay. They are 3-6 for the season, coming off 2 out of 3 against the Yankees. You got Tampa Bay in for 3. After the off day on Monday, the Red Sox right behind him. You got to build on that momentum you had against New York.
Yeah, and a super tough stretch for the Jays this month. The last time they faced Tampa, as third base umpire Larry Vanover says that Fred Lewis went around. The last time they faced the Rays back here at home, that was that homestand where they had a really great chance of going 9-0. Baltimore, Tampa, and the Yankees came in, and they lost some tough games late.
That two-seam fastball tried to work its way over the inside corner. 2-2 count here with 1 out in the third. Blue Jays have tied it on a throwing error by Sean Rodriguez, the second baseman. Just off the plate inside. Fred Lewis doing a good job of laying off that inside fastball. That jam, the big hop for Longoria, throws out Fred Lewis, 2 down. Just check in with Sam Cosentino.
Well, Buck, just to update you, JP, Aaron Sebe was hitting .303 with 31 home runs and 79 RBI. It must be a huge thrill for him today, walking out onto the Rogers Center field. He will make his major league debut tomorrow, catching Brad Mills. Oh, yeah, and by the way, guys, he shares a record with Alex Rodriguez. 17 home runs hit while playing for Westminster High School in Miami. He and Alex Rodriguez, the high school home run champs.
Pretty good class he's in.
So those 31 home runs are not a fluke then?
Not at all. He can swing the bat. We have known that for a while. It'll be interesting to see how much he's improved behind the plate. All reports are very positive about his catching. You know, Escobar in a hole 0-1. That slider down and away gets all the way back to the screen.
That's the biggest thing with catchers. Managers don't care what they hit. That's all a bonus, isn't it?
Boy, especially if you're going to be a winning ball club. You look at all the pennant contenders. They've got good catchers behind the plate. Fastball driven into center field, but Upton will get over and make the catch. But the Blue Jays have tied it. It's a 1-1 game on a double by Encarnacion and a throwing here. Matt Garza and the Rays are tied at 1.
.30 the coverage starts, Eastern Time, 9:30 Pacific. And the game will feature Brad Mills against James Shields. And you can catch it on all Sportsnet channels, Sportsnet East, Ontario West, and Pacific.
Willie Ibar takes a first pitch strike. Ibar had an RBI double in the first inning. Just missed down and in. Ibar the DH tonight, and if you haven't heard, Carlos Pena has been disabled, the regular first baseman. So Ibar will be pressed into action both as the DH and as a first baseman until Pena returns.
Another one of those players that the Rays have that can play multiple positions, pieces that fit in.
Line drive left field. Fred Lewis battling the lights and makes the catch. Way to hang in there, Fred.
Help us feel it when you get over there. And you know that line drive is right in the bank of lights, right behind home plate. The only thing you can do is sit there and wait for it to come out of the lights and hope it goes into your glove. He stayed right with it, didn't he?
Had it all the way. One out here in the fourth. Pop up center field. Vernon Wells with plenty of room. Two quick outs here in the fourth. Zobrist is retired.
We were just talking about Ibar and how he fits in with his team. It's a lot like Ben Zobrist and Reed Brignac and Sean Rodriguez, players that, you know, they're just good baseball players, and they fit in with what Tampa's doing, what Joe Madden, the team, the type of team that he wants. Switch hitters, they can play multiple positions. That's why you can carry as many relievers as what the Tampa Bay Rays are carrying.
And Jason Bartlett shortened up to bunt and pulled the bat back. But there are a lot of good athletes in interchangeable parts. Brignac's a shortstop. He's played second base. Ibar's played first base and third base from time to time. He can also DH. Sean Rodriguez has played in the outfield and at second base. Madden and Rodriguez go back to their Angel days, and Joe Madden really admired his versatility. That's why they acquired him here. I think it's a trend you're going to see continue around baseball. More athletes in the game, more versatility.
That's the key. They're athletes. They can do multiple things and help you different ways.
A ball and two strikes. Bounced foul. I love the way baseball is trending back toward pitching and defense. We talk about Tampa Bay on that 11-game homestand. Went 8-3. Committed just 3 errors and hit .220. Jam. One hopper right to Hill. Writes himself. Quick inning for Brett Cecil. Blue Jays tied it up. Cecil said, I'll take care of it. 1, 2, 3, 4th inning.
40-inch Sharp Aquos Quatron TV plus Blu-ray player. Quatron, it's 4 colors, not 3. To enter, visit hitahomerunwithsharp.ca. That's hitahomerunwithsharp.ca.
Well, chances are pretty good in this 4th inning for a home run. Bautista, Wells, and Adam Lind. With 33 home runs through 108 games, Bautista's tied with George Bell on his home run pace when Bell hit 47. Puts things into perspective where he's headed.
What a season he had. So he shows bunt. That is just to bring in Longoria.
Bautista has also homered in 9 straight series. Taking a fastball for a strike.
But there's so much more to Jose Bautista. He ranks #1 in home runs and RBIs. He is 4th. He's also got a great on-base percentage because his walks, he's got 64 of them. But the thing that I love about Bautista, he has more RBIs than strikeouts this year. The only player on the Blue Jays who can say that he has struck out less than the number of RBIs that he has put up this year. Shows you the kind of concentration that he has at the plate.
He's got the count in his favor. Lifted to right field. Pat Joyce over near the foul line and makes the catch. Bautista's retired. Vernon Wells will try to get something going here with 1 out. Wells was a strikeout victim in the 2nd. Excuse me, foul ball. Tried to hold up on that fastball. Vernon Wells not getting as many good pitches to hit on the first pitch of an at-bat anymore.
Early in the season, it was fastball away. And he showed that he can handle it. Now it's high fastball early, cutter slider down and away later on. Backwards from what he saw earlier this year.
I think the league was trying to test him out early on and see how much he had recovered from that wrist injury. Stays on that breaking ball, but pops it. Sean Rodriguez into the outfield, makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th. So 1-1 game here. First game of a 3-game weekend series against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay trailing the Yankees by a half a game. Tampa Bay and New York, the only 2 teams in the major leagues playing .600 baseball. And they're chasing one another.
Their record is incredible, and they're in 2nd place.
Adam Lind was the first batter to reach base in the 2nd. He singled off Garza to center. High fly ball right field. Joyce over near the foul line. The ball hangs up, catches it just short of the warning track. Matt Garza has retired 6 straight, a 1-2-3 4th inning. We are tied at 1 at the end of 4.
About the timeline of the events. Jesse Litch said today in his press conference that he had the MRI a couple of weeks ago. Well, it was confirmed just recently that the MRI was taken Friday before the Blue Jays left for New York. It was read Monday, and then today consulted with doctors and decided that season-ending surgery would be the best thing in order to get him back in time for spring training next year.
A tough break for Jesse Litch and the ball club, that his season has come to an abrupt end. Evidently, he had been dealing with this hip problem, and it's really become an injury you're hearing an awful lot of. Go back to last year, Chase Utley had hip surgery. This year, Russell Martin is headed for the same surgery that Jesse Litch is facing. Matt Joyce, deep center field. Vernon Wells turns on the track, makes the catch. Is that ball hung up for it? Boy, Vernon got a good jump on that ball. Matt Joyce got a lot of pop in his bat, and it really jumped off the barrel of that bat.
To be a good outfielder, you have to get great jumps, like you were saying, but you also have to take good routes. And I thought Vernon Wells took a good route to this ball. He knows where this ball is going to end up. Went right to that spot and was actually waiting for it when it came down.
Gabe Kapler put up a fight, but eventually grounded out to the third baseman.
You were talking about hip injuries. Is that the same hip injury that A-Rod had? The same thing, the labrum tear?
Yeah.
We are seeing that more and more now with baseball players.
I think the doctors have improved the technique of diagnosis. So I've talked to several doctors about it, and I asked them, how come all of a sudden we're having this hip labrum surgery? And evidently the MRI process has improved so much they can really see deeper into that hip joint, which is obviously very, very deep in your hip, and they can diagnose it now and repair it. Bouncing ball behind second. Hill, good throw on the money to Overbeck. 2 down. But when you think about it, in years past, people used to talk about arthritic hips and, you know, just have different joint problems, but they couldn't really diagnose the labral tears, and they can go in there. And labrum is cartilage. We hear it all the time in pitchers' shoulders. And what it does is it stabilizes that ball socket in your hip the same way it stabilizes your shoulder.
It's an injury that's a little bit up higher than you would think in your hip area.
Kelly Shopik swings at the first pitch.
In the past, would they have said that that's a groin injury or one of those tears to the abdomen?
Sports hernia.
Sports hernia.
Yeah, all those things probably linked a little bit together, but this hip labrum has really become quite prominent. The good news is they fixed him very effectively. Now, Alex Rodriguez has had a little bit of problem with it this season, but he came back last year right at the 1st of May after missing the first month of the season. Brett Cecil is in a groove. Bounced into there. Brett Cecil gave up 3 hits in the first inning when Tampa Bay scored their only run. A 2-out RBI double by Willie Ibar. A ball and 2 strikes. Up and away.
He comes into this start a very hot pitcher, but he hasn't had anything really to show for it. 5 starts in the month of July. He pitched 32 1/3 innings. Had a batting average of .216 with just a 1-0 record. They have not been able to get him many runs when he's been on the mound.
2-2 to Shopping. Up out of the zone. It's a full count. We are tied at 1-1 here as the Rays hit in the 5th. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. 6th strikeout of the night. Brett Cecil has retired 13 Rays. Another off-speed pitch down and away. 24-hour digital sports channel featuring the Jays, Major League Baseball, Barclays Premier League, NBA Raptors, and more. Rogers Sports 1 coming August 14th. Got a heck of a game going on here at Rogers Center tonight. Matt Garza, Brett Saso hooked up in a 1-1 duel. Garza has allowed 2 hits, Saso's allowed 3. Aaron Hill to lead things off. Swings at the first pitch and pops it a mile high. Zobrist now into foul territory. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Another first pitch strike by Garza. His last start, 109 pitches, 75 strikes, 23 of them were called. Tonight is a good example. That last pitch to Aaron Hill. Fastball down and away, and he goes after it and pops it up. Stay out of the middle of the plate. That's something that he can do. And when he does that and combine that with that good off-speed stuff, you can see why Garza is going for his career-high 12th win tonight.
If he would win tonight, he would also even his major league career at 500, 39 and 39. But it once again brings into focus just how difficult it is to be a winning pitcher in the big leagues.
Seems like he has been around a lot longer, doesn't it? Started with the Minnesota Twins as a high draft pick for him. This is his 108th career major league start.
Four years in the big leagues as a starter, an everyday starter. This is a very good pitching staff. They have 5 pitchers that all throw 4 pitches. And now the development and improvement of David Price, basically the premier #1 starter on their staff. But they have 5 quality arms in their rotation.
You know what that does?
Another pop-up on the infield. This ball's a mile high. Jason Bartlett calls for it and makes the catch.
That might have hit the A-ring there.
Yeah,
it was so
I was
high.
thinking the same thing.
But you know what it does when you have 5 starters like that? It gives you a chance to win every night. Wade Davis is going to win his next start, or his 10th start. He's got 9 wins. This is what they have done, their rotation this year, where they set up earned run average, wins, the whole thing in the AL rank, all at the top. But Wade Davis has 9 wins. He's their 5th starter. He wins in double figures. They'll be the only team with 5 double-digit starters in wins this season.
Now, they have done a great job of staying healthy. They've only used 6 starters all year long, and the only extra starter was Jeremy Hellickson, who pitched on Monday. 1 start.
And he dealt.
7 innings, 3 hits. I guess that's what you feel like you have to do if you're going to pitch for the Rays. Edwin Encarnacion ripped a double to the gap in left center his first time up. Came around to score on the throwing error by Sean Rodriguez, the second baseman. Encarnacion got a high fastball and laced it to the wall. Got the count in his favor. 2 balls and no strikes. High drive left field. Kapler back on the track at the wall and makes the catch. Encarnacion got a lot of it, but not enough. Just missed it. We're tied at 1-1 after 5. of shutting down their opponents.
Certainly have Matt Garza, a fly ball pitcher. 11 of the outs have been in the air in the first 5 innings for Garza. Brett Cecil's been dealing through 5 innings, 6 strikeouts for Brett Cecil. Gave up those 3 hits in the first inning and has retired his last 13 batters in a row.
B.J. Upton takes the first pitch outside. Last time out, Brett Cecil against Cleveland had 5 walks in 6 innings. He's improved on that dramatically. Then off speed pitch for a strike, 1-1. Last base runner to reach against Cecil was Ben Zobrist, who had an infield hit in the first inning with 2 outs. Two balls and a strike. Real strength of this Blue Jays ball club in the second half has been right there on the mound. Starting pitching has been terrific.
Their ERA as a team just over 3 in the second half of the season. Since the break, the Jays have allowed the fewest runs in the majors. Just 60 runs in the second half so far.
3-1. There's a strike.
You get that and play good defense, which they have all season long, and hit the amount of home runs that the Blue Jays have hit, you are going to win games. And they've had a good start to the second half.
Full count to B.J. Upton. He'll step out and regroup. Nobody out here in the 6th. No appeal. Leadoff walk.
You could win an all-new Honda CRZ and other great prizes when you vote for the Honda Play of the Month. Vote today at BlueJays.com.
B.J. Upton with the leadoff walk, first walk of the night, after we just mentioned that Brett Cecil walked 5 last time out. The curse of the announcer. I'll take credit for that.
I'll be glad to give it to you.
So Sean Rodriguez, he had a double down the right field line his first time up. He scored the Tampa Bay run. Upton can run, and Cecil will keep an eye on him.
This is what makes the Tampa Bay Rays so dangerous, because they can do so many different things offensively. Different ways that they can score runs. We've seen them double steal. We've seen them hit and run. We've seen them steal home. They can handle the bat. A player like a Sean Rodriguez can handle the bat with a runner at first base. You know he's going to take a shot over there. Try and play first to third with B.J. Upton. This is where the cat and mouse game starts between the two managers.
Ripped down the left field line, but foul. It's one thing you have to guard against if you're Brett Cecil. Don't get so locked in to watching B.J. Upton you make a mistake to the hitter at the plate. Just give your catcher an opportunity, but maintain your keen focus on the hitter. That's where the real problem lies.
Still make quality pitches. If you do that, it'll take care of itself. Very aggressive lead at first base for Upton.
One thing that their speed will do for Tampa Bay, it will allow them to go first to third. It'll create a distraction when you get a base runner on like Upton.
How about the pressure it puts on the infielders and the catcher?
Anytime you have athletes on the bases, it makes everybody rush, whether you're an infielder, an outfielder, or a catcher. You know you have to be quick to execute. If it's Molina, you have to get a good transfer, quick throw to second base. Same for potential double play. A ball and 2 strikes. Line drive into right in front of Bautista. Rodriguez has 2 hits.
He certainly does take advantage of that right side and tries to hit that ball the other way. He does, and the Rays have something brewing here in the 6th inning.
Evan Longoria with 2 on and nobody out. Longoria is 0 for 2 tonight. Lined out and struck out. Bounced in the dirt. Brett Cecil had a string of 13 straight retired when he issued the leadoff walk to B.J. Upton. Two balls and no strikes. There's a strike at the knees. Another great pitch. Longoria didn't think so. Fastball down and away.
Yeah, it looked like he turned over a fastball right at the bottom of the strike zone. Watch the job Molina does to help it get back into the strike zone. It appeared to the home plate umpire, Jeff Nelson, that it's right at the knees.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Third base, second for 1. Back to first base. Double play. Encarnacion to Hill to Overday. Just what the doctor ordered.
That's the pitcher's best friend. You got a big run producer at the plate, and you get it on the ground and let the infield do the rest. Rodriguez goes hard to try and take out Aaron Hill at second. Watch him try and kick his feet out right there, but you get up into the air like Aaron Hill does right there and complete the big double play.
There's nothing wrong with that slide at second base at all, especially if you keep your feet low. You start getting those spikes elevated, and that's when it comes into question. But a good, clean slide by Rodriguez, and Hill was able to turn it.
Yeah, somebody might start taking that personally if you start going in there with their spikes up. But you're right, that's a good, aggressive play.
2 outs now for Willie Ibar. Fastball on the corner. Brett Cecil making some good pitches after getting in a jam early. David Percy, the big left-hander, starts to loosen up. Ibar had the RBI double in the first. His 31st ribby of the season. Bounced and blocked very well by Molina.
You know you're going to have to do that when you've got Upton over at third base. The tie-breaking run with some good speed. It doesn't take a wild pitch to go very far for a guy who can run. He is getting way off there at third base, knowing that Encarnacion has to play deep.
2-1. Another ball in the dirt. Take a look at the defense and how Escobar is playing so much in the hole to pull. Big gap up the middle, but they expect Ibar to pull the ball against the left-hander. Three balls and a strike. He walked him. 2 walks in the inning. Upton walked to start the inning. He's at third. Nick Leyva with the signs to Molina to defend against a possible first and third steal attempt.
We also saw B.J. Upton steal home with the left-handed pitcher on the mound and some speed over at first base. If you just lollygag a throw over to first base, B.J. Upton might try and steal a plate.
And Zobrist looks at an inside fastball off the plate.
You just don't know what the Tampa Bay Rays are going to do at any time. They have that ability to do a little bit of everything on the baseball field.
Just off the plate. Tampa Bay showing good patience here in this inning. We're tied at 1-1. B.J. Upton walked to start the inning. Ibar walked with 2 outs. First and third, 2 down. 3-0. I would not be surprised to see Ben Zobrist swinging here.
He can give him the option if he likes it. Go ahead and try and drive him in.
Right at the top of the strike zone. Jason Bartlett's on deck. It's a 3-1 count to Ben Zobrist. So that'll make it a full count. Brett Cecil trying to get out of this inning. He got a big double play off the bat of Evan Longoria. Runners at first and third. Full count. Overbay behind the runner at first. Ibar will be on the move at first. There he goes. Cut on and missed. He strikes him out. Ben Zobrist goes down swinging. Cecil with his 7th strikeout of the ball game pitches out of a first and second nobody out situation. First the double play, then the big strikeout. We're still tied at 1.
To the ballpark tomorrow, game time 1:07 p.m. But get down here early and get to the Gate 11 Interactive Zone. Player autographs, inflatables, face painting, and a whole lot more. After the game, kids 14 and under can run the bases. Make sure you call 416-341-1234 or check out BlueJays.com/tickets or most Rogers Plus locations for tickets to At My Best Junior Jays Saturdays.
Big Saturday, great series. Come on out Saturday and let the kids run the bases after the game. Jose Molina lined out to second his first time up, cuts on the first pitch and pops it right over Pat's head.
Oh, I had two chances at that. We don't get too many baseballs up here now.
Nope, takes a very good aim from that hitter way down there.
All the way.
Not much room to get it in here. Another pop-up. This one's got a chance to stay on the field. It does, and foul ground. Zobrist makes the catch. Molina's retired.
You will get a lot of pop-ups and a lot of fly balls when Matt Garza is on the mound. He has retired 3, 6, 9, 10 in a row. All but one of them, ball in the air.
Just the ground ball to Fred Lewis. Lewis with one out. Chases the high fastball. Rays continue to pound Lewis inside with that heater.
Get that hitter starting to think about fastball. Maybe he'll open up a little bit too quick. And then you can go back outside if you need to.
Still pouring that fastball in there.
There's only one way to get him out of your kitchen.
Hit it.
And hit it hard.
And keep it fair. 1-1 going away. Missed way outside. Matt Garza continues to pitch very well in this ballpark. We mentioned his 3-3 career record. But he's got a 1.60 ERA in this ballpark. And tonight's only run is an unearned run when it came in on the throwing error by the second baseman, Sean Rodriguez. Only Mariano Rivera has a lower ERA at Rogers Center. 1.58 for his career.
Garza might pass that tonight.
Popped up. Right back to the screen. Every time you go up against the Rays, you know you're going to be facing a tough pitcher, and that is true again tonight. Full count, one out. Strike three call. Fastball on the inside corner, about knee high, gets Fred Lewis.
Well, they pounded inside. And as a hitter, you get real tired of seeing everything inside, but this one is a perfect pitch. Lasered it right on the inside corner. It's high enough. The question in Fred Lewis's mind, was it too far inside? And there are the numbers that you were talking about. Only Mariano Rivera coming into this game has a better earned run average here at Rogers Center.
Javier Vasquez, B.J. Ryan, Rick Helling in the top 5 in ERA at Rogers Center. Bounced right back to Garza. Underhand toss first base, and it's a very quick inning. 12 straight retired by Garza. It's a 1-1 game as Brett Cecil set to go back for the 7th. they've outscored the Blue Jays 30-3 this season after 6 innings. Their bullpen has absolutely shut down the Blue Jays offensively.
Relievers earned run average just over 1 against the Blue Jays this year, where the Blue Jays bullpen is over 12 versus Tampa, and that stat says it all, I think, for this series.
In the previous series, when the Rays were here at Rogers Center, they won 2 of 3. And in that series, they scored 15 runs after the 6th inning.
That was that homestand where the Jays felt like they could have swept the whole 9-game homestand.
This is a tough ball club. We mentioned their road record at 33-18. That's how you win championships. 1-2. Just missed the inside corner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brett Cecil's done a great job of handling the bottom part of the order. The last 4 hitters 0 for 8. Chris Walton was talking about handling the bottom part of the orders, so you don't have to face the run producers with guys on base. He would rather face Longoria with nobody on.
He used the analogy of Joe Mauer and Justin Morneau. If we can get the guys, the Nick Puntos and the Orlando Hudsons, before they come up, the advantage will be to the pitcher, because he knows eventually those good hitters, they're going to get their hits. But I'd rather see them hit leading off an inning with nobody on base. You're right, he has handled the lower half, so when they turn it over and the big hitters come up, there's nobody on base.
2-2. Strike 3 call. First out of the inning, a big out. It's the 8th strikeout for Brett Cecil. Bartlett caught looking.
It's another speedster, too, and Bartlett, you keep him off the bases. That's a good slider or a good cut fastball. Right-handers give up on it, and it's right down the middle.
So with 1 out, it's Matt Joyce. All right, Cecil's had the upper hand in the bottom part of the lineup in that he's pitched ahead and then forced them to expand their strike zone. Joyce had 12 RBI on that recent 11-game homestand. Had some key hits for them.
They have always liked him. They just have to keep him healthy. They picked him up from the Detroit Tigers a couple of years ago for Edwin Jackson. Gave up a pretty good arm to get him. He hit 12 home runs for the Tigers in about 250 at-bats before being traded over to Tampa.
There's that changeup to left-handed hitters. So effective. Cecil out in front, 0-2. Strike 3 call. Another great breaking ball. Second strikeout of the inning. 9 on the night. 3rd in a row by Brett Cecil.
And the second one taking, so you know they're not picking up the pitch. That one carves the corner. Watch Joyce give up on it. Molina holds it right there. Great pitch by Brett Cecil.
2 outs. Gabe Kapler cuts on the first pitch. A 1-1 game here in the 7th. Line drive down the left field line, but foul. One of the hardest balls Tampa Bay's hit tonight. Kapler got the head out, but too far out in front.
Well, certainly since the first inning. Ibar's double was hit pretty hard. That scored the game's first run, but there was a ball that was lofted down the right field line and an infield single.
Breaking ball lifted into right. Gabe Kapler's retired. 3 up, 3 down, 7. Brett Cecil does the job. Jose Bautista in this tie game will lead off the bottom of the 7th.
Staff. Stan Borowski is the assistant to the pitching coach, a position formerly held by Brian Anderson, who's moved up to the broadcast booth. We saw a little of this when St. Louis was in town. They had assistant hitting coach Mike Aldretti to Mark McGuire. Here's Stan Borowski as the eye in the sky, charts pitches, and probably a good part of the reason why the Rays staff has been so good this year.
Well, with Joe Madden always on the cutting edge of technology and trying to do anything he can to win a game, Stan Borowski is obviously another asset that they will lean on. Right now, Matt Garza has done a pretty good job without much help.
Just 73 pitches for Garza to get through 6 innings.
Jose Bautista fouls back the first pitch. Matt Garza has really settled in nicely. His first 3 innings, he threw 47 pitches. In the last 3, it's taken just 26 pitches. Last 3 innings, he's thrown 9, 8, and 9. Pretty efficient. Right on the corner. Can't do much about that.
No fooling around either. It's like, okay, I'm going to take this fastball and I'm going to just throw it about 94 miles an hour right to the corner, which he does with authority. You're right, not much that Bautista could do with that pitch.
Bounce back to the mound. Garza has it. Throws it into dirt, and Bautista is safe. Matt Garza handcuffed Ben Zobrist. And the team that had committed just 51 errors coming into this game has made 2 tonight. That's a big one there.
7 in their last 39 games. They've been playing great defense. I think Matt Garza got a little bit too fancy there. Did not stay on top. Watch how he gets the ball and throws it sidearm. Plenty more time.
Right in the dirt and handcuffed Zobrist.
Remember, Payne is not in there to dig that out. What do catchers say to pitchers as soon as they have those comebackers? Step and throw, step and throw. It didn't look like he stepped and threw that time. It looked like he sidearmed it, threw it right into the dirt.
Two key errors now by Tampa Bay tonight. The Rodriguez error in the 3rd inning led to the Blue Jays run. Now Garza's error has the leadoff man on. A ball and a strike to Vernon Wells. Tight ball games, mistakes come into play.
Walks or errors become so big in games like this, especially from the 7th inning on.
Wells pops it up a mile high. Shopik gives it a look, but it's well back into the seats. We had mentioned the Tampa Bay Rays scoring 8-3 on the homestand. They committed just 3 errors in that 11-game homestand. That's how they were able to win 8 of those 11 games while hitting .220. 1-2 to Wells. Breaking ball. Checked in town. Good slider gets Wells. Garza has thrown some of his best sliders tonight to Vernon Wells. Good spot down and away.
Strikes him out for the 2nd time. Not much you can do with this. It's hard and it's down and away. As a hitter, you have to offer at it. It's got too much of the plate, but it's almost a perfect pitch. They have really handled Vernon Wells in his career. Just a .260 hitter versus Tampa Bay pitching.
Been 1 for 2 tonight. Inside off the plate. One down here in the 7th. Bautista reached on the air by the pitcher, Matt Garza.
In that May 31st game here, where Matt Garza faced Toronto, he gave up a 2-run home run to Adam Lind. Gave up 3 earned runs, had just 3 strikeouts. He lost that game to Brandon Morrow 3-2, and it was a 2-run home run by Lind. That was the difference in the game.
Pull it into right field. Bautista around second and then stops. As Joyce got to it very quickly, and it was hit just too hard for Bautista to go first to third.
Even though the right fielder was playing very deep, playing no doubles, nothing over their heads, nothing down the lines. Watch where this ball is tomahawked by Lind. He gets on top of it and rips it into right field. How deep Joyce did. Even though he was playing that deep, it got out there so quickly, no chance for Bautista to go first to third. He's thinking about it. Takes one quick glance to see where he is, and he's thinking right there, and then said, you know what, I don't think that's going to work.
First and second with 1 out now for Aaron Hill. Off the plate. Garza hasn't lost an inch off his fastball. 95 miles an hour. A ball and no strikes. Two and 0.
Still plenty in the tank for Matt Garza. Joe Madden was talking earlier this year that he has so much confidence in his fastball. Says he's okay with it. If he throws it 100% of the time, that's how good his fastball is.
Back out of play. Still the best pitch in baseball. A well-located fastball, and then you add the movement that Garza has, and you can see even when the Blue Jay hitters are looking fastball, they can't quite catch up to it.
That was a 2-0 fastball right down the middle, and they couldn't. Aaron Hill couldn't catch up to it.
Hill's had a lot of success against Garza. He's 9 for 27 going up against the big right-hander. Driven to right field. Matt Joyce on the run. He's going to make the catch. Tagging at second is Bautista. He'll move over to third base. But they are now 2 down.
Just missed it. He had to reach for that ball just a little bit too much. Aaron Hill. Watch how he has to reach, and he's saying, get up, get up. And it just can't get up hard enough. If that ball was in just a little bit more, would have been able to get the head of the bat out. But it's a long fly ball to right.
Now big conference on the mound as everybody on the infield converged to listen in to Shopik and Garza on how they're going to try to get Overbay out here. Overbay's been very aggressive tonight, swinging early in the count, anticipating he's going to get a good first pitch.
Not a bad idea.
First and third, 2 down. We are tied at 1-1 here with 2 out. Bottom of the 7th. Just drifted off the plate outside.
Garza has handled lefties this season. Right-handers are hitting higher than left-handers coming into this game. This 219 versus Garza, and I think it's that good down sinking fastball that he has versus the left-handers.
Overbay got underneath that fastball. It's a ball and a strike to Lyle Overbay. Blue Jays taking advantage of the air to start the inning. Bautista reached. Then after the strikeout, Lynn singled into right. Curveball bounced into dirt. Good job by Shopik. Squared up on the ball and smothered it.
Matt Garza has 9 wild pitches. Shopik right there saved him a big one, bouncing that curveball.
Two balls and a strike. Overbay left field and deep. This ball is over Kepler's head off the wall. Bautista comes in to score. Here comes the throw to the plate. In time to get Lynn. But Lyle Overbay delivers an opposite field double to knock in Jose Bautista. And the Blue Jays have taken a 2-1 lead. Overbay hit the ball over Kepler's head. Kepler made a good throw to the plate to nail the trail runner. Sean Kemp will come on to protect the lead. Offers on quality vehicles. Summer's a great time to buy a Toyota. Blue Jays take a 2-1 lead on Overbay's opposite field double.
This ball was scorched, and I thought when it hit the wall and bounced over Kapler's head, that was going to be 2 runs. But he quickly gets a hold of it and then uncorks a strike on one hop. A perfect throw for his first outfield assist to get Lind at the plate. I didn't think he had any shot at getting him as Shopik keeps Lind from scoring. Watch how he sticks that left leg out there to keep him off the plate and tag him out and stops a big run.
Shopik did a great job there as he blocked the plate. Pinch hitter John Jaso will hit for Shopik, and Sean Kemp in relief throws a first pitch strike. Jaso's done a good job in splitting the time behind the plate with Kelly Shopik. Shopik deserves a lot of credit for blocking the plate. He blocked the plate early in the season against Derek Jeter, hurt his knee. He was out after knee surgery because of that play.
And did that play remind you of a play we saw this week in Boston? It's the same way that Carlos Santana, the great young catcher for Cleveland, tore his knee up. Where he stuck it out there, it was exposed, and the runner bent his knee back. That time, Lind tried to go in the back door, but was tagged out.
Tight ball game. That's what you got to do. Sean Kemp ahead of all in 2 strikes. Bouncing ball right side. Overbay cuts in front of Hill. Tosses to Kemp. 1 out. Brett Cecil in line for the W. Went 7 strong innings.
Boy, he gave up 3 hits in the first inning. A bloop double, then a rocket double, then an infield single. And then he was outstanding. It's to 7 innings, 112 pitches, 9 strikeouts. Really had some of these hitters really baffled. Cutting the fastball on the outside part, backdooring it, everything. 2 walks. Pitched out of trouble in the 6th inning, where the first 2 batters got on base.
B.J. Upton cuts on the first pitch. One thing that has impressed me with this young rotation, Ricky Romero in New York gave up a 2-run home run in the first. 1 hit after that, retired 26 of 27. Brett Cecil gives up a run here tonight in the first. 3 hits, settles in, 1 hit the rest of the way. They are not intimidated. They have grown in leaps and bounds since the opening of this season.
I think you could throw Brandon Morrow in that group also. They have grown not just stuff-wise, but how they pitch, how they command the game, how they're going to get through it and get through their start. It's been very impressive.
Brandon Morrow did the same on Monday against the Yankees, giving up 2 runs in the first. B.J. Upton deep to right field. Bautista back on the track, and he'll have room to make the catch. Bautista initially thought that ball might carry a little deeper. He went right to the wall, but then drifted parallel to the wall to make the catch.
We've seen a couple of balls tonight hit hard to the warning tracks, but just not enough to get out. Upton's been in a home run groove himself. A couple of home runs the last few days down in Tampa. Thought he had one there.
2 quick outs recorded by Sean Kemp. Now throws a first pitch strike to Sean Rodriguez. Slider sails away. Kemp's done a terrific job picking up outs on the first batter he's faced. He's done it again here tonight. That slider just off the plate. Kemp has now retired 37 of 45 first batters. That's a great number for a guy that's going to come in protecting leads late in the game.
Makes your job a little bit easier when you get that first guy, especially when he is hitting 9th in the order.
Broken back grounder. Big 2 hops for Escobar on the money. Good inning for Kemp. A 3 up, 3 down, 8th inning. Blue Jays lead 2-1 as they bat in the 8th.
of the Whopper. In a tie ball game, a couple runners on. Lyle Overbay sends this ball over the head of Kapler. It looks like they're going to get 2 runs out of it, but Kapler quickly recovers and with his momentum heading home, uncorks a strike to Kelly Shopik to get Lind at the plate and make this a 1-run game.
Visit BlueJays.com/Burger King to register for a chance to win prizes with the Burger King Super Fan Contest. Strong throw by Gabe Kapler saves a second run for Matt Garza. But Garza finds himself trailing 2-1 here as he's set to work to Edwin Encarnacion. Encarnacion's had a good night at the plate. He doubled in the third and just missed hitting a home run in the 5th. Fly it out to left field. John Jaso came on as a pinch hitter. He is now behind the plate taking over for Kelly Shopik. Breaking ball cued off the end of the bat. Foul. It's interesting how this ball club has really started to swing the bats much more effectively. You have new players coming back. Snyder's healthy again. He's on, and everybody knows that it's going to be a battle for playing time.
Isn't that funny how that works? Where there's that competition, maybe you focus just a little bit more.
Well, you know that Cito's going to go with the hot hand. He's talked to all of these players involved. Basically, there's 4 players or 5 players for 4 spots. Snyder is sitting out tonight. Another high pop-up on the infield. Bartlett calls for it. 1 out here in the 8th. Let's check in with Sam Cosentino.
Congratulations to Donald Lemire from Bourget, Ontario. Donald's tonight's lucky winner of the 2010 Honda Fan Fridays contest. Donald's won $1,000 cash and a replica Blue Jays jersey. He'll also have the opportunity to come back on Friday, September 24th for a chance to win a 2010 Honda Cross Tour EXL. For each of the remaining Friday night home games, one lucky winner will have the chance to participate in the grand prize. For more information, check out BlueJays.com.
Jose Molina lines it to the second baseman. 2 quick outs in the 8th.
Second time tonight that Molina's lined out to Sean Rodriguez. First time it got him a run. There's a runner at second base. He lined out, but the error by Rodriguez cost him a run.
Fred Lewis 0 for 3. Fastball on the outside corner. Garza still throwing 94 miles an hour.
And that was his 100th pitch. So he's been very efficient with his pitches. That's why he's got plenty left in the tank here in the 8th inning.
Commentator clothing provided in part by Z Zenya. Statistical information provided by Stats Inc. Music provided by Universal Canada. Ground ball. Zobrist with the backhand. Underhand toss to Garza. Blue Jays go quickly here in the 8th inning. But the Blue Jays will go to the 9th. Kevin Gregg will come out of the bullpen trying to protect this 1-run lead. Blue Jays lead it 2-1. 25th save of the season. He picked up his 24th save on Monday in New York in that 8-6 series opening win. That was his last appearance. Evan Longoria will look at the first pitch from Greg and take it outside. Two balls and no strikes. Three and oh.
He has handled Evan Longoria for the most part. He's only faced him 3 times in his career as Kevin Gregg.
There's a fastball on the corner. 3-1. Bounced foul. Full count.
What made that pitch effective, the little sink right at the end. Just got him out in front a little bit.
Line drive left field. Fred Lewis over on the warning track to cut it off. His throw to second quickly in time to hold Longoria to a long single.
Fred Lewis was playing almost on the warning track, not playing anything over your head. When Longoria extends through this ball, it looked like double written all over. But watch where Fred Lewis is playing. Look how deep he is. He could almost shake hands with some of his teammates out in the bullpen. Cuts that ball off. Longoria's thinking too, but then play right in front of him has to settle for a single.
Good job by Fred Lewis. Good job by the defense. Leadoff man's aboard. Willie Ibar batting for the first time from the left side. First pitch strike from Gregg. Ibar drove in the only Rays run in the first inning. Had a double down the left field line. Good pitch, 0-2. Fastball on the inside corner from Gregg.
His numbers versus the Rays in his career, he has 4 saves and 5 opportunities. 16 games in his career.
0-2. Just missed the outside corner. Closer's ERA can get ugly in a hurry. You have a bad inning against the team, and that ERA will explode. A ball and 2 strikes. Cut on and fouled up the first baseline.
They usually pitch about 50, maybe 60 innings. Some of the better ones, who if they're used a lot, will throw close to 70 innings in a game. And you're right, a couple bad innings here, a couple of bad innings there, and that'll inflate that earned run average.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Ibar wants time. Just missed the outside corner. Pretty good pitch with the fastball.
Tough to take that one. Ball sinking away, trying to get Ibar to bite on that pitch. A .330 career hitter versus the Blue Jays coming into this game. Willie Ibar.
2-2. Longoria at first. Kevin Gregg would love to get a ball on the ground. Put it in the hands of his defense behind him. Ibar stays alive. Well, the Ibar is one of those guys that you don't necessarily have the top of your list when you start the hitter meetings. But he always gets big hits.
Big hits. Good production. He has less than 200 at bats, but he's got 5 home runs.
Just off the plate. Craig thought he threw another good one. That's in a great spot. I don't know how you don't swing at that pitch.
With 2 strikes from over top. Does it catch any of the plate?
Off the plate.
It's off the plate.
Full count. Longoria may be on the run here. Not running. Strike 3 call. They've made good pitches on the outside throughout the entire at bat and goes right back out there to strike out Ibar.
The difference? That time it was a backdoor slider or cutter, so it was coming into the glove as opposed to going away. Molina right there to pick it out of the air, right on the corner.
Greg was comfortable on that side of the plate throughout the entire at bat. Just missed with the fastball and then brought that little cutter back over the corner.
You know what I think he was afraid of is throwing something on the inner half where Ibar could pull it right through that hole, so he stayed away from it.
One down now for Ben Zobrist. Right back out to that outside corner, but he missed. Zobrist 0 for 3 against Kevin Gregg. Tonight he's had an infield single. 2-1 Blue Jays here in the ninth. He's got that outside corner zeroed in. They make a great point. Why flirt with the inside where you're messing with danger?
Longoria's got 15 stolen bases, so you know he can run. If he dribbles one to the right side, he'll be standing on third base.
Popped him up. Outfielders were deep. Wells gets under it, makes the catch. 2 outs. Stay tuned after the game and join Connected on Rogers Sportsnet. Jays post game, best of baseball. A lot of great games going on. The Red Sox are in New York to take on the Yankees in a 4-game series. Jason Bartlett with 2 outs. Takes a high cutter. Ball 1. What a game. 2 runs on 4 hits for the Blue Jays, 1 run on 5 hits, and 2 errors for Tampa Bay. Both the Blue Jay runs are unearned. Bounced foul to plate.
These two have played each other so tight all season long. The Jays have 3 wins versus Tampa Bay, all of them by 1 run. They've been great games.
One ball, 1 strike. 2 outs. One and 2. Lively crowd here at Rogers Center tonight. Over 22,000. Bartlett steps out. Foul ball. Third base umpire Larry Vanover made the call. Immediately called foul ball. Watch the umpire. Standing right behind Encarnacion, raised his hands immediately. Encarnacion can't turn around to check him out.
Yeah, and a good job by Encarnacion as that ball clearly foul, not taking anything for granted.
We'll do it again. Right back up the middle. There's Aaron Hill. He'll step on the bag and the Blue Jays win it. Kevin Gregg with his 25th save of the season comes on in the 9th inning and saves it for Brett Cecil. Lyle Overbay with the big hit, an opposite field double. Blue Jays win the opener 2-1. What a ball game to start this 3-game series. Stay tuned for Connected.